Yo, it's your boy Perplex, Cerebral Cortex Reviews, man. How are y'all feeling, man? Oh, it's time. We finally got an official informational display about the Nintendo Switch 2, aka the specs. They talked about games and everything. I'm gonna jump right into it, y'all. Listen, man. First and foremost, this thing got 12 gigs of RAM. The games are not gonna be playing. The game's not gonna be playing in 30 frames per second. Not 60 frames per second. 90 frames per second? Nah. 120 frames per second on their games that's gonna be played on that Switch. Latest NVIDIA chipset. That's crazy. Crazy battery life. They're giving us 256 gigs of storage. You remember on the original Switch, we got 30 gigs of storage? Man, we getting 256. That's something to get you download some games. You know what I mean? Get you in the club, get you in there. Man, let's talk about some games, man, because we already knew that the specs was gonna be sick. Let's talk about some games. They got a new Kirby Air Ride coming out. I ain't seen a new Kirby game in general, but they've been dropping Kirby games, but as far as a racing game and stuff like that, I ain't seen one since the GameCube. But now it's coming out on the Switch 2, and they got a new, oh my God, I'm gonna save this for last. They got new software on the Nintendo Switch membership store. Where we can play our, Game Boy Advance games, our Genesis games, our Nintendo NES games, Super NES games. Now they implemented GameCube. Man, they got GameCube on there. Man, they got Soul Calibur I seen. Man, they got Zelda Wind Waker. Man, I seen. Oh my God, man, they got F-Zero on there. They really went ham on that, man. Then they hit us with the Mario Kart Tour. I'm sorry, World. Let me get it correct, politically correct. It's called World. This racing game is gonna have 24 playable characters. That's it's on the screen at one time. They're probably gonna have about at least 50 or 60 playable characters. But they probably, as far as the characters on the screen, I'm used to it only being maybe 16. Now they got 24. It's gonna be pandemonium on their screen. Man, I seen characters jumping through pipes, man. I seen characters, man, jumping in the back of semis, man, transforming into different type of ships and stuff. Man, it was bonkers on that screen. And they implemented a adventure mode on that where, you and people from around the world, you guys can just ride through an open world setting. They have open world in Mario Kart game now. Man, open world setting, man, go all through, man, the different areas and different landscapes and stuff, man, and go on different adventures and solve different issues. Man, it's crazy dope. Speaking on that, I'm jumping from topic to topic, but I have to. I'm hyped. Man, listen. They also implemented a way better operating system as far as their online capabilities. Number one, they have a microphone built into the Switch itself. So now, you don't have to have a headphone or anything like that. But if you want to get a headphone, they got a jack now in the Switch and in the Pro Controller as well. That's dope. But you don't need one. No matter where you're sitting at, people can hear you online, via that microphone input that's built into the Switch. That's crazy. And that's mysterious C button we've been concerned about. That's how you implement all of it. You push the C button, and it's going to upload and give you the option. Okay, do you want to start playing where people can hear you? Use the mic. Yes. Then they went a step further. Now they're saying you can also go into the settings a little bit more, and people can see you like Skype or Duo, or some kind of video chat. You can actually see the people you're playing with online. Like if somebody's stuck in the game or something, you can help them out. You guys are playing the same game together. You can help them out. You guys can talk together, man. It's like everybody's sitting with you on your couch, man. Nintendo went ham. They went ham, man. They asking Sony how their ass tastes right now. Sony, tell me how my ass tastes. Nintendo went off on Sony today, man. Sony got to respond. Man, also, what else they hit us with, man? They hit us with, no Mario game. But they hit us with something just as good in my book, because I'm a big fan of this character I'm about to mention. A new Donkey Kong game, man. 3D Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong Bonanza, man, that game looks sick. It looked like a mixture. Of course, it looked like Donkey Kong, but they, reimagined this figure and everything and gave him more detail. Also, man, it reminded me of Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and of course the Donkey Kong 64 that came out about 25 years ago. Man, that game, dude, Donkey Kong Bonanza, it's gonna be damn near the game of the year. I'm telling you, man. If you like beat 'em ups because it's a mixture of beat 'em up, platformer, mystery, adventure. It's everything bottled into one. And also, one thing when I did tell my wife, man, it definitely reminded me of, out of all those games, it reminded me of Odyssey, Super Mario Odyssey. You know how, they showed segments where Donkey Kong can change outfits. He's rolling, he's beating up stuff. They really made Mario interactive on Odyssey. And that's how they did Donkey Kong, man. This is going to be they grand hit. Also, man, they got every game that's out on the PS5 and the Series X right now is coming out on the Switch. A lot of those games are coming out at launch. And a lot of them are going to be upscaled to the 4K, 120 frames per second. A lot of the Switch games, because it's going to be fully backwards compatible, except for like some games that use some weird motion controls on the Switch. But mostly all the games on the Switch are going to be playable on the Switch too. Oh man, so much stuff. They're going to be upscaled to 4K resolution. But some games are going to be completely optimized for the Switch 2. Kind of like optimized for the PS5, optimized for Series X, stuff like that. And Nintendo got the same thing. But they're making you pay for it though, and that's one thing I didn't like. But nevertheless, most of the games, if not all the games, are going to be upscaled and rendered up. The games that's already out. But if you want to pay for those games to have that premium optimization, they had Breath of the Wild on there, they had Odyssey on there, they had Age of Calamity, they got new Age of Calamity coming out, man. Oh my God, dude. I think it's called, what is it called? I'm thinking about Age of Imprisonment. That's the newest one that's coming out. They announced so many games, man. Nintendo has really changed the game with this. The system is powerful. The game's looking hot fire. The only kick in the butt I'm gonna give them is that, like, some of those games that I've seen that's ported over from the developer games, the third-party games, they didn't hit like the Series X. Microsoft put their ass cheeks in the Series X, and it didn't look like the PS5 either as far as graphically. But I think that's simply because the developers rushed, because a lot of those games, I said, they're coming out on launch. And also, like, maybe some of them like a little bit after launch, maybe about 3 weeks to a month after launch. But most of the games that they show is coming out at launch. So I've seen a lot of rushing there because a lot of the graphics wasn't polished and everything. But nevertheless, next year, when the developers have time to sit down and optimize their games and the games that's already on the Switch, send firmware updates and stuff like that, man, the Switch 2 is going to be sick, bro. The Switch 2 is going to be sick. But from what we've seen so far, it's launching with probably 15, 20 games. Not to mention all the games you're still going to be able to play on your Switch, from your Switch to your Switch 2, in 4K now. 120 frames per second. 12 gigs of RAM. Latest NVIDIA chipset. Man, I don't know what to say. I'm tripping, yo. I'm sorry if I was confusing, but I'm probably not. That's me. It's been me for 8-9 years now. Y'all got to get used to it. Now, anyway, it's your boy Perplex. I love y'all. Subscribe and stay hype. I'm out.